Mythic Squad, the People's Guild. Our passion for making monsters can't be killed. We breed the best pets, learn a lot, no regrets. Join us in creating excellence. Purple on our back, Mythic Squad on the chest. It's the Mythic Squad. It's Mythic Squad. Mosh, Starbuck, Mythic Squad.
All right, yo, it's time to wake the fuck up with the Mythic Squad. What's up, everybody? It is bright and early Friday morning. We got a special guest on here. You know who's up. We got Starbuck. We got the Beave. We got the king of pets himself, King Mosh. And coming from Hollywood, we got Justin Diesel, a.k.a. Justin Bellow. The director of the next crypto gem is in the house. We couldn't be happier to have you, my man. What's going good, Justin? My favorite name in the world, by the way. How you doing, fam?
I'm doing so good. Thank y'all for having me. I love that nickname just stayed with us since March. Jet was the one that came up. I was wearing like an auto worker shirt from Disneyland that said Grumpy on it one day. And I walked outside to tell him and Brian it was time to come in to shoot. And Jet goes, "Hey, you know what, man? Anybody ever told you look like Vin Diesel?" And I just looked down at him really mad. And then I started laughing. And I was like, "No, man, nobody's ever said that." And then we all just started laughing. And from that moment on, anytime I wasn't smiling on set, Jet or somebody would be like, "Uh-oh, Vin's upset. Don't mess with it."
Vin Diesel, yeah. When you're here, your family. Oh, wait, no, that's Olive Garden. That's funny. Oh, what was it like working with Jet? You know, I mean, he's a big personality. When I was watching his recaps, I don't know if it's just me, but he comes off as presidential. He had some like real, you know, Trump vibes. Or not bad way, like presidential, you know, vibes. It was cool. What was it like for you?
Jet is very professional and well-spoken. And the unique thing about Jet is he has the ability to adapt to any situation at like the drop of a dime. So if things were going great, you know, Jet is all smiles and he's upbeat and he's positive and he's like this energy force on set. Like when Jet was on set, you knew Jet was on set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we'd be in the middle of a take. And even if we were in the middle of shooting something, you would just hear those like little rumblings or, you know, little things behind you. And it's like, okay, Jet's here. He would bring by, you know, just a different person anytime he would come to set. He asked a ton of questions. He was very insightful in terms of what things we were going to focus on. I actually got to meet him in the writer's room before we even started production. And we clicked like midway through the first day when we started talking about the tone and the style of the show. And in terms of other shows that we were trying to emulate, we talked about The Office, we talked about Modern Family, we talked about Fight Club, and then The Big Short. And so like those moments where the judges will address, you know, right to camera, we established that in the writer's room. And, you know, one of our favorite movies, Fight Club, is, you know, Tyler Durden giving the breakdown on, you know, the soap and the movies. And like once we had that, you know, common like, it was like, wow, man, this is awesome. Like, this guy totally gets exactly what, the tone and the feel should be. And then with the rest of the production company, it was amazing, man. Like, everybody was just so excited and so passionate and, ready to do it. And Jet's knowledge on the crypto space, like, before I got on the show, I knew nothing about crypto. I was a little hesitant to want to talk about it or to like want to comment on it. And all the things you hear in the news, it's got a lot of negative connotation. The first thing that Jet did, like 20 minutes into the show or 20 minutes into the writer's room, was walk up to a whiteboard and write down the definition of blockchain. And then he drew out a picture explaining what the blockchain is and why it's important. And after he drew that picture, it was like a light bulb went off. You know what I mean? And like any other like, small technical things that we would want to address on set, he was like right there. And it's like he was like the crypto. I called him in my mind like the crypto guru, just because anything that I had a question on, any thing I wanted to know about the space, Jet has the answer. And he's got like I said, man, he's like this energy force, and he's so positive, and he's so like excited to be there and to make things. It was a pleasure to work with him, and like everybody at the Hourglass camp, man. It was really a great journey.
Seems like he's got a very infectious attitude that gets the people going in one direction as a group, for sure.
That's the people going, bro. He does.
He does.
Well,
dude.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah,
Justin, since we're speaking on passion and stuff, how did you get your start, man? What brought you to directing and writing? What made you want to go that route?
Man, when I was in college, I was there playing on a golf scholarship my freshman year. Yeah, dude, I played all 4 years, but I was there on scholarship freshman year. I had no idea what I wanted to do. In the back of my mind, my dream was to eventually go on tour. But my first semester freshman year, I remember walking to class. I was in a business sales and marketing class, and I was late. And I saw this tack board, and it said, "Come learn the art of film and video." Literally, like in the middle of the hallway on the tack board. So I ripped off the poster, and I went to this meeting at like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whatever. And the first thing that the teacher said is this guy named John Duvall. John had worked on Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
Worked on Raiders of the Lost Ark as a sound designer.
wow.
Like, this guy was in class with Jay Roach. Jay Roach directed, all the Austin Powers movies, and now he's gotten more into the political movie. It was crazy. It was like he listed all these credits on the poster. So I was like, okay, cool. What's this guy about? The first thing this man said when we walked in class was, "Put down your backpacks and grab a camera. You've got 45 minutes to tell me a story." And I literally ran up to like all my friends at lunch or like on campus and bothered them for like 30 minutes, like trying to get them to talk to me and engage with me. And then once we got back to class, I had edited in camera, which meant that I had like rolled on somebody, and then instead of saying cut, I would just cut it off. And then I went to the next person. And so it played like this scene, right? And after that, man, I was hooked. I didn't want to do anything else. I switched my major from business to film like literally 2 days later.
Wow.
I just started making short films. I made like 4 movies in college. Then I went to film school, went to the LA Film School for 13 months, made like 3 shorts there. And then I started working on set, man. I was a production assistant. My first job, dude. And this was a trip because the first day on Crypto Gym, I remember asking a PA if I could have some Pop-Tarts and a glass of green tea. Dude, my first day on any set when I was like 22 was I was in charge of scooping up all the trash, getting the coffee and getting the groceries from the store, and then making somebody's cup of coffee. Like one of the producers wanted, a cup of coffee that I had to go and make. So it was like full circle just to stand there on this set with all the cameras and all the people and everything else. It's like, wow, I have my own brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Like, this is crazy. I was the guy like burning toast, like, and not trying to fuck up the coffee before. And like, it was crazy, man.
That's amazing.
Pop-Tart.
You're like, I want coffee. I don't want it coming from monkeys' butts. I want special beans, and I want you to pick it from their butts, fresh as shit.
And smile while you're doing it.
And smile. Yeah. All right. That's awesome. So you've been in the business for a long time. Is there a possibility that you're going to be on any projects with? Oh wait, knock on the door.
We got
a special guest also. Dragonfly Tales. Are you in the building?
Might be away from the computer. We'll just keep him there right now. This is
we'll keep him there.
From
we got a special European faction of the Mythic Squad, ran by none other than Dragonfly Tales. He's a producer with He's a producer. And there you are. You're in here twice. What's up, man?
Dragonfly Tales.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, my Italian stallion friend. As you can see, we got Justin Bellow in the building, and he's the leader of our leader of our European faction, Dragonfly Tales, doing big things. We're happy to have you on. Taking a break from his honeymoon to be here, to be with the legend himself, Justin Bellow. So we appreciate you. Congratulations again on your wedding.
Yes, congratulations, fam.
Thank you.
Congrats,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you very much. With heart.
All right. As I was saying, so Justin, can you tell me what projects do you see in the future now that you've had a major production like Next Crypto Gem? What's on the horizon for you?
Yeah, man. So I'm actually in post-production on a football docu-series right now. It centers on this middle school team, this group of kids that are, heavily recruited and being scouted by some of the top high schools in the country. And so it's like an inside look at a week with them leading up to a game. We shot it over the course of August. And so now I'm editing and I'll be done with it in the next couple of weeks. And then, hopefully, God willing, fingers crossed, we'll do a season 2 of Next Crypto.
Yeah.
And then I have a couple of features that are in different stages of development. I got an action feature that I'm working on to get financed in Europe. And then a romantic comedy that I wrote like 10 years ago, dude, when I got out of school, that finally got, some traction. So,
hell yeah.
Fingers crossed, the production company is doing their pass on it now. And so then hopefully be in pre-production on that, early next year. My whole goal this year was to direct my first TV series because I'd done a lot of work in commercials and more short form content. So to be allowed to do, 7 episodes of this show, it was amazing. Like it's like you dream of that moment and you can't believe it when it's happening. And then it's like, you kind of have to pinch yourself like, hey man, like you're here. Like it's time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause it's like, you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And then you're there. And then you're looking at a monitor with like 7 screens. And it's like, whoa, okay, let's go.
What's the best way to follow Justin Bellow and stay in tune with what you got going on, my guy?
Oh man, the best way to follow me on my IG, it's at jbellow25. And then on Twitter, it's at thisjustin. And those are I post there like every day pretty much, especially now with promos for the show, and getting as many eyeballs on it as possible.
We're gonna have some purple followers for you, man, that are gonna be engaging with you all the time, checking in on you. So
appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Look for Purple Power to do a Queen sweep.
Yeah,
It's coming.
I love it.
So we're part of this DeFiKingdoms. We've got our own guild. That's like what led to the factions and stuff. What do you know about the project since you were in on Next Crypto Gem? Are you familiar with the gameplay at all?
Dreamer actually showed me a little bit of it when we were on set. I haven't played it like outside of being on the show, but I mean I loved it. I thought it was really interactive, and I loved like the land setup. It reminded me of like old school Divide and Conquer games that I used to play like way long ago. I can't even remember. As like on
PC, right?
Yeah, dude, it was like a Star something. I
played a bunch of them too, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. So
yeah,
I can't remember that name though.
I mean, I liked it, man. I'd like to play it more and learn about it more. I just was so busy when we were actually making it. It was like,
here's your invite to jump in the Mythic Squad Discord. We'll get you set up with a couple heroes and pets.
Some dope heroes.
And
hell yeah,
you come hang out, man. Lots of cool people in there, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you think directing's cool, wait till you hit a Dread Knight. Woo!
What's a Dread Knight?
Oh my god!
The tippy top of the hero class.
Yeah, for right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So summoning's like the best, in our opinion, or my opinion, the very best part of the game. They're 2 side by side. It's hatching eggs and making heroes. These heroes are what we're going to be using. Our in-game assets are in the form of these heroes, which are equipable with mats, with pets, with amulets, weapons, what have you. So you can customize your hero. And in this RPG style game, it gives you an opportunity to use that hero against everybody else in player versus everyone, as well as player versus player. So you start from the bottom. You get 2 of the lower class heroes, and then you can smash them together. They make a baby. They're limited on the amount of times you can do that, except for certain ones like Gen Zeros, which you can have infinity, but that's a long thing. So as you glow up the tree, right now we're in the exalted side, and you got like a 14% chance to get to advance. You got a 14% chance to get to elite, into elite, and then you got a 7% chance to get an exalted, and that's where the Dread Knight is.
So what it's like is like you were seeing a tree. You mutate up in class. You need a wizard and priest to mutate up to a summoner. You need a summoner and ninja to mutate up to a sage. You need a sage and dragoon to mutate up to a Dread Knight. So like there's always the mountaintop that you're going.
And so on top of that hero class, there's these abilities. And these abilities are what the Mythic Squad focuses on. Well, I mean, everything altogether, but abilities takes a special place in priority of how we do our summons. And for that, there's basic attacks, advanced, elite, and then the very highest is the transcendent. They call it exalted, but that's on some bullshit. It's transcendent.
But we're also big on community too, and creating an environment.
So you get your transcendent hero, and you get your abilities, and you're going in against people all around the world to see, what they've been able to put together, and you're putting together a team with like magic casters, and it's
high level nerd shit, and we love it, man. We love it.
I mean, imagine like crawling around a dungeon or something like that with a bunch of your boys, with these heroes that you spent months, years building and leveling up, using crystals, stones for the summoning. Like you're basically a genealogist. You know what I mean? Like you're a genealogist.
There you go.
Whatever you want to call it, but it's there's layers to this.
You're like a genie, a real one.
Oh yeah, I mean you're giving life, baby. You're
rub my belly. I have no wishes.
There's so many layers to them. It's like nothing else in the space, man. You really are.
But again, I want to emphasize the vibe that Mythic Squad tries to bring, the environment we try to create to be available to anybody who wants to join, right? It's a place where you can win. It's a place where there's no dumb questions. We're trying to help you be the best version of yourself within the game too. Right. And it's been really fun to network and meet all these people, including Dragonfly Tales, my guy from Italy.
From across the world. Come on. Dragonfly, what's up? Thanks for being on. First time.
Very good. Yes. It's the first stream ever. And I'm happy to be with you.
You look handsome, man. You look handsome. You're doing great.
Speaking of, for this segment, wake the fuck up. We just started it. So, Justin, you're our first guest. So, for years and years, someday you're going to look back and you're going to see Wake the Fuck Up on something. And you'll be like, I was the first guest on that.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah, we should start, and Mythic Squad Europe will be a great challenge because basically, Mythic Squad is USA based, but me, Starbuck, Beave, and Mosh, and all the other wolves, we have huge plans, no?
Yes,
absolutely.
Huge.
It's just
huge
the
plans
beginning.
because basically we are trying to link all the funny people all over the world, no?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. We got to get you in purple real soon, Dragonfly. Hey, speaking of, tell them about yourself, Dragonfly. You got a kind of cool gig outside of the game.
Yeah.
About the game or about me?
About you.
All that stuff.
About me, I'm a music producer, and I discovered DeFiKingdoms quite early. I was not among the first ones, but soon enough, I began in, I remember, October 31, so the end of October of 21, and it's a wonderful trip because as Starbuck said that it's very deep. It's deep. You have to study. I have a master's degree in university here in Italy, And I always say it's like is more than a university exam. To learn DeFiKingdoms it's like a fucking university exam.
You
Okay?
need a degree,
Because
and
it's yes,
you know
yes, you have to be your brain have to
You just gotta hop in Mythic
have to
Squad and
expand.
graduate DFK.
That's right. We'll make it easy though. We break it down. We teach a stripper how to be the best tipper if you give us time.
Yeah.
Yes, basically the Mythic Squad has this chance to make DFK easy
There you
for
go.
everyone, because the knowledge of everyone go together, and so all the people, everyone has his own speciality. Mosh is the master of pets, and Beave is the master of dread knights, and
Master of
Starbuck
nothing.
is the master of resurrection mutation. So,
I will bring you back to life. You were once dead, and I will breathe breath in you. Let's go.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so happy to have you on. First of many streams. Again, thanks for taking a break from your honeymoon. I hope you get back to that action real soon.
thank you.
You can't leave the life with unrealistic expectations.
You should tell everybody what we are planning to do next time with the music for every class of every era,
Yeah, so as a music producer, obviously we got probably one of the most banging opening tracks produced by our boy right there. And we're going to make, for every hero class that comes out, there'll be a soundtrack with a little video that explains the hero, and it'll be unique to every class, unique graphics. And that's coming from our boy Dragonfly Tales. Really high production quality too. I mean, you're a pro. We appreciate everything you do, and if there's anything additional we can help you get to the next level, say the word. It's done, my bird. Okay, so
and I didn't know you are a great rapper. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You didn't know? I'm kind of a rapper.
Because you have the rap, but you have the metal voice too, no?
Yeah, it's I don't like to say it all myself, but I'm pretty gangster.
You're multi-chain.
Yeah. We're gonna make it mythic. That's.
Okay, I have a personal question I want to ask Justin real quick, because when I was younger, was super into film and directing and all that kind of stuff. It's like something I wanted to do. I didn't chase it. But what is your favorite 3 directors that you really, I don't know, maybe
take inspiration from?
Get some inspiration from? Ever.
Top 3 favorite directors ever. Man, off the top of my head, without spending too much time, I'd say Oliver Stone, Spike Lee, and Orson Welles. And no
good ones.
And all of them for different reasons. Oliver Stone, like one of my favorite movies, Any Given Sunday.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
I watch that every year.
Dude, the cinematography and the pacing and the editing choices that he makes and the amount of characters that you're actually invested in, like to do it on that kind of a scale where you have literally like 8 or 9 different storylines that you're following with everybody on that team, and you never lose track of it, and it never seems like it's too much information. If anything,
you're engaged the whole time. Yeah.
It's like you're engaged all the time, and it's like, if anything, I want to spend a little bit longer with some of those other storylines because I've become so invested in them. Outside of Al Pacino and the Jamie Foxx, which is the main storyline, right? But and I love it. I love the pacing, the editing, the music. Orson Welles, because of all the techniques he used on Citizen Kane, and how now they're the standard, but back then it was like, what are you doing? Why would you put the camera there? Like, this isn't how you do movies. You don't tell a story like this, and that's just the standard, right? Jumping around in time. Like, that was unheard of, to go like into the future and then back to the past, and like, you know what I mean? Like that never
why
happened.
make it hard on yourself? but
then,
yeah,
with Spike
Lee,
the writing and the social commentary in all of his films, and like the chances that he takes when he does some of those camera moves and the cinematography, especially in like Do the Right Thing or Mo Better Blues, which is like one of the lesser known works with Denzel and Wesley Snipes as like competing jazz musicians, because I love jazz. Yeah, man. I mean, I love movies. I love so many different different people for so many different reasons. But yeah, those three off the top of my head for sure.
Right on.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
So speaking of movies, have you directed a movie that we would have heard about?
I have not directed a feature film yet. The next Crypto Gym is probably, well, it is the biggest thing that I ever made. It's gotten the farthest reach out of any of my other projects. I come from the commercial world. I started off doing, like, once I stopped being a PA and I became like a camera operator and an editor, my first real directing opportunity was with the Marriott. And so I did commercials for their hotels for like 4 or 5 years. I just fly all over the country with a different, crews. And I actually started working with a director that was like their main director. And he gave me my first shot to really go out and do my own segments on some of these shoots. Okay. And from there, I started doing commercial work for different brands and companies. And then when the pandemic hit, I was doing a lot of social media commercials for different brands for like Facebook and TikTok ads and Instagram, stuff like that. And yeah, man, just so blessed and so lucky to be given this opportunity for Next Crypto. Funny story, I wasn't even going to apply to this job initially because initially it was for a reality writer, a writer's room position. And I had no idea what you write for a reality show. I've never written a reality show. So I sent in like this sketch comedy script that I had written and my director's reel. Because like you're supposed to send in like a video of like, why you'd be a good addition to the team or something. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna send my director's reel and tell them I want to direct it. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, I'll never hear from them. And like 3 days later, Mike Dutcher of Bespoke called me and we immediately clicked, dude. We talked for like 45 minutes. And then 2 days later, he gave me the gig. And then I was in the writer's room, like, I think 3 months later. Wow. So, and like, I wasn't even going to apply. Amazing. That was the crazy. And it's like all these other things have happened now. I've met all these amazing people. I'm talking to you guys now. It's like, if I didn't apply, who knows? You know what I mean?
That's the story of my life, man. You never know why things are happening the way they are. And in the end, they, for whatever reason, make a little sense. Yeah. Speaking of the industry, my brother, George Starbuck, he's in the industry too. He works with E Channel and Access Hollywood. He's a cameraman and does like a bunch of things in that world. But I just met him, so that's a different story in and of itself.
Wow, that could be a documentary. You
want to hear a documentary? You got to hear my story one day. It'll blow you away.
I would love to, man. That's amazing.
Here's the cliff notes. So I've had like pretty good life, but I'm raised by like Filipino immigrants, first generation, like through and through. And I've had a rough childhood. We got like 1 minute left. I want to be respectful of your time. So I finally, so I take this. So anyways, I have this successful life, rough childhood, rough upbringing. We're from like the ghetto in Tacoma. And well, the nicer part of the ghetto, if there is one.
There is one.
Yeah.
That's where we're from.
Yeah. That's where you are. This is Tacoma. So I have this long life, get married, have a kid, which is like a wild story in itself. Wife had challenges, ended up having a kid who came 10 weeks early. Life's good. I'm successful in my career, like recognized with awards and all this shit. I've had like this long life and at a point where like I'm starting to live my life for a kid. And then for Christmas 2020, my wife gave me one of those at-home DNA tests, right? And I take this DNA test and my son takes his first and it shows up he's half English or half white. And I was like, well, that don't add up. I'm 100% Filipino. He should be at least 50%. And I'm like, we're going to have to run it back. So I take mine and mine, boom, surprise, half English, like more English than Filipino. I was like, hey, Mom, what's up? She's like, oh, honey, Filipinos have Spanish blood. I'm like, yeah. So about the English part. And long story short, I recorded this video of me interviewing her and she's, we'll talk about that later, but turns out I'm related to the Starbucks, and the Starbucks that came to America in like the 1600s. Edward Starbuck came first by boat. So before the U.S. was even the U.S., he's like successful. The reason why the name Starbuck is because he was famous for whaling and was one of the first millionaires in America, helped bring the culture to Nantucket, and the long ass story. Anyways, I find my dad in 8 days using all the skills that I've learned over the years.
Dad, but he didn't realize
my real dad.
He was 38 years old.
Yeah, I'm 38. I find my 70-year-old dad who's not on the internet online in 8 days. I call him 2 weeks later. He comes to Washington, and you know, we're at time. So that story is going to end because we all got to.
We will say this. He found out that he has brothers and sisters, and his brother that's only a couple years younger than him is
this all-white doppelganger.
Yeah, so I'm Justin Starbuck, and my brother's name is Dustin Starbuck.
I feel like I've known him my whole life, too, because he looks exactly like him.
Yeah, he looks just like me, but white. And for whatever, and I'm 6 feet tall, and for whatever, and they're not. So I always wondered, like, why am I 6 feet tall in my family? And then on the white side, they're not 6 feet tall. So, like, I don't know where this came from, but thank you. You know, like I said before, we don't always know why things happen the way they do, but in the end, they kind of make sense, and that's why we're here today. So there's so much more in that to unpack, but one of these days, I'll tell you the whole thing. Justin, we are so happy to have you on. Thank you for being our first official guest of Wake the Fuck Up DFK. And we're looking forward to hearing from you again. Next crypto gem is out now. Mass market release in October. Get ahead of it. Dragonfly Tales, again, thanks for coming, taking time out of your honeymoon. We'll let you get back to the work that you're putting in. And that's it, y'all. Keep it mythic, baby. Justin, any closing words before we roll out?
I just wanted to thank you guys again, man, for having me on. And anytime, man, I would love to jump back with you guys.
Say less.
Say less. Consider it done.
Looking forward to the finishing final 2 episodes, man. So.
Yeah,
okay.
Can't wait, man.
All right. Peace, y'all. Keep it mythic, baby. We're out of here.
Guys. Love you.
Yeah.
Have a great day, everybody.
Mythic Squad.